Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we're here finally with 2022 Season 4 here on iRacing. First race of the all-new season, and today we're going to be taking out the VRS GT3 Sprint Series. Of course, 40-minute races around some of the world's greatest circuits, and we kickstart the year here at Road America. I'm going to drive the BMW M4 GT3 car this season. It's just a fun car. I've always enjoyed driving it. It's not too much of a challenge either. You know, it's not like the Porsche or the Lambo that want to kill you at every possible moment. So hopefully, you know, sort of settle myself back in to trying to get more consistent back on iRacing. I'm going to try and change things up a little bit, of course. We're going to still edit out some of the fluff bits from these races. Of course, you do occasionally get laps where not much is going on. But we are going to try and start featuring more of my fastest qualifying laps. So yeah, Road America, going to be about a 19-lap race here today. Like I said, 40 minutes ahead of us. Let's get in then, straight away to qualifying, and hopefully we can set a good competitive time. Far too many mistakes towards the end of this second lap. My first one wasn't brilliant. First half of the lap felt really good, and then second half we just kind of struggled to get the car where I needed it, but rounding through the final corner we'll try and get nice and early on the loud pedal. Yeah, we're going to be about half second away there, but somehow currently we're sat up in P2. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more fast times come across the line, but we were only just in P2 early on in the session. A 103.2 is not a bad time by any means. I think we've got about a 20-22 car split for this one today. But yeah, we'll see how many places we lose, and hopefully we're not starting too close to the midfield. Well, there we go then, official confirmation. We are going to be lining up P5 on the grid, ready for this race today. There, I mean, Daniel at the front there, 9/10 clear of anyone else. He's probably going to just set sail. But we've got a good gaggle of cars there from really second down to about sort of 13th, 14th place there is all looking fairly tight. Need to make sure I put enough fuel in the car as well. Of course, don't want to start the race on a qualifying fuel run. But yeah, let's get into it then, here from Road America. Right, well, here we go then. About to start 2022 Season 4 VRS GT Sprint, 40-minute races, and it looks like it's a lot of Porsches versus BMWs at the front of the field. We've got two Porsches in front of me, I think 3 BMWs on the left-hand side. But like I said, about 19 laps then here at Road America. Of course, we've got one fuel stop to make as well during this race, and fingers crossed we can just keep it clean and tidy early on. Back to get ready then. We're going to be watching when the pole man is going to go in his number 13 car. There we go. No, not yet. Not yet. There we go. Oh, I've not responded too well. Might have to slot in behind the other Martini car as we head down towards turn 1 there. We've got the other BMW trying to have a bit of a look there. So, yeah, not the greatest start in the world to start the year. BMW very, very aggressive there. Defending in towards turn 1, but we've got a bit of space to slot into behind. And again, not going to worry too much about being super aggressive at the start. Cold tyres on the BMW can always be quite a fun experience. It's of course thought about it down through what is technically, I believe, turn 3. Road America's corners make no sense to me, so we're not going to worry too much about trying to point those out today. But yeah, not the best start in the world though, but you know, like I said, 40-minute races, there is plenty of time to recover here, and especially with all the big braking zones lap 1, everyone's just got to try and take it nice and easy. As we just see there, I think, yeah, Dan has held on to the lead at the start, but got, yeah, Porsche, BMW, and then a couple more BMWs, and then a Porsche right on my gearbox as well. But of course, we know how loud that Porsche can be. That flat 6 engine really does love to scream, so I'm sure we'll hear it if he tries to go for a move somewhere. Is slowly building up the tyre temps, because that is the process early on in this BMW. I find it takes about a lap and a half, especially around a track like Road America, of course, because you've got those straights early on. You just can't obviously build tyre temperature unless you weave. So yeah, it really does take sort of a lap or so to build everything up. Of course, heavy fuel as well. A little bit of a blend there through that's not Canada corner, obviously that's right at the end of the lap, just down here. Porsche got a good run though. So you can have a look at the inside. Yes, he is. And we will let him have that one. As we've got a Mercedes just behind us. But yeah, losing a couple of places then on lap 1. But of course, you get some people that think it's the start of a new season, I've got to set the tone and be aggressive. Of course, you know, it's a long old race. Places can be gained and lost. Maybe just getting a little bit too used to that curb on the outside of the final corner. But down to P7 then by the end of lap 1 isn't perfect, but like I said, not I'm going to worry about too much. You know, we've got a lot of guys here. I think everyone in front of me is over the 2k sort of threshold, which is where I do believe I should sensibly be. I think sort of 2.1, 2.2k. I feel like where my pace sits on iRacing, but of course we've got quite a good dialed in lap. So Porsche's gone round. That'll be a freebie then, nice and early on in the afternoon, and that's the problem with the Porsche. It is incredibly loose and lively. There is the Mercedes, I think, behind us. The big V8, of course, in that car. The big V8, of course, in the BMW, if I'm not mistaken. Both of them. He's trying to line up, thinking about something, but we won't be pressured. You know, I'm not going to deliberately try and outbrake myself or anything like that just because he's having a look. Just got to focus on what you're doing early on in these races. We're going to try and sit close, hang on to the back of the Porsche. I feel like we're slowly getting the tyres up to temperature there. It's all very, very wide on the exit. I feel like Road America is a track that a lot of people, you know, it's one of those weird ones where it's actually quite difficult because a lot of the corners are 90 degrees. You know, a lot of people try and extract time wherever they can, you know, through some of the fast kinks and things like that. Honestly, I just don't find a lot of the time it's really worth it. You know, you can easily try and risk gaining a 10th. Obviously, if you get it wrong, you lose on 3 or 4. So we just still slight blender throttle through the kink. Just got to be careful, you know, early on, still fairly cold tyres, trying to build everything up. You know, you got to warm this BMW in. But I definitely feel like we have got good pace, not only just to hang with these two in front of me, but I certainly, you know, I feel like we can recover these places early on. But of course, it is just setting the rhythm, setting the tone. It's been a while since I've done a proper race, really. Of course, I did that week 13 event in the Porsche Cup car a couple of days ago, but yeah, you know, you got to sort of ease yourself back into it. A couple of laps ticked off here at Road America.
It's just done a 202.64.
Top man already back into the 202s. I mean, we're on a 203.8 now, so not too shabby.
Was a 203.
Again, of course, got to remember to brake a little bit earlier into the corners. Heavy fuel, and of course, you're in the slipstream, which means you can't just throw yourself off with a little bit of extra speed. But that Porsche really does leap out of those first couple of corners, the longer flowing corners. That thing, of course, with the engine at the back, you really can, of course, just put the power down. Of course, the engine keeps it planted. You can really, it's not nothing like having traction control or anything like that. Of course, all these GT3 cars have traction control, but it really does allow you just to push on and really sort of chuck yourself out of corners. As Mercedes again just ums and ahs about it, but we will hold him off early on. But yeah, let's see what we can do then against these two in front of me. As BMW just runs a little bit wide, I follow him. Just got to be a bit careful.
Make it easy for him. Make him go the long way around.
They're certainly going to not make it easy for the guy behind, but just need to settle down. Try and make sure we stay in the wheel tracks. Very early on the brakes there. Almost throws me off. We do keep it clean and tidy as Merc flashing his lights. Don't really know what you want, mate. We are here to race, remember? Not just let each other by. Oh, horrible run out of the final corner. Now we might be a bit vulnerable. So the Merc behind us. Let's see what he can do. I mean, he's got 2.6k iRacing. I hadn't even spotted that prior to now, but surely we might be able to get a run back up towards someone. Porsche looks like he's trying to make a move on the other BMW. I think we'll just lift out of this one early on. You know, we are here to race, but
2:04.59.
make sure, of course, we get to the checkered flag. And it is still very early doors in this race. Crew chief not happy with my lack of defence, but yeah, I mean, if this Merc can try and drag me up to those next couple of cars, looks like he's rocking a Formula 1 themed livery. We'll see actually what the top end speed's like when we're behind him. Yeah, we gain a little bit there, because we didn't get the best run off the corner either, so we have still got very competitive top-end speed. But yeah, we'll see if this guy can drag us up towards that pair of dueling cars as well. Oh,
P3's
gone off. Oh, big way. How on earth has he managed that? On the inside there, and I think that's him straight out. No, it's not. It's someone else that has called it quits. So we just run a little bit deep, so... yeah, I don't know, because it looked like, based on the wheel tracks, he'd taken far too much curb through the kink there, which is a very weird thing to do, but yeah, that little mistake there just pushed me a little bit further back behind the Mercedes in front. We are just hanging on to these guys' coattails, you know, sort of studying things and seeing how it's all playing out there. We've got another Porsche about a second and a half away, who I think is trying to get involved with our little gaggle of cars there, but that's going to bump me back up to 6th place then, so... in all of this, we've actually only lost 1 place from where we started. And this little battle pack now does extend up towards the podium. But yeah, we've just got to try and keep hitting our marks, get into that rhythm we need. And that is not going to help out of the final corner. First instant point of the season. Lucky there we didn't stay on the throttle, otherwise we probably would have had the traction control cut all the power and we would have gone right round. But Merc now having a look on the BMW. Oh, that's not good. Not a fan of seeing that down towards 1 there. BMW being very aggressive with his defender. Of course, I don't know how close it was between them, but this has got to be our opportunity whilst these two squabble. Just close back in again. Let's refocus. Well, we've just used half the fuel then in about 14 minutes, so we're going to need about half a tank when we come in to stop. I think I've set it up to put 8 gallons in, just so we've got safely enough to see us through to the checkered flag. But yeah, I mean, we kind of now got this 5-car scrap. That was a little bit loose and lively through the penultimate corner. Come on, where am I off? That's somehow not a 1X. Oh, BMW's gone though in a big way. That's going to give the Mercedes a nice open door there. BMW's going to slot back into the slipstream. But yeah, a bit weird there. You know, we almost made that mistake earlier on. It's easy to do in the BMW. You kind of just feel like the front end does push out quite a lot. It's finally back into the 103s.
94, sector 3 is 0.41 off the pace.
But yeah, I sort of feel like having these couple of laps, being able to watch these cars lines through the corners is now Mikel just behind us. I think struggling. I don't think he's quite got the pace to match, as that is awful. Oh, that was awful. Through turn 3, but yeah, we've got to try and stick close now to Jan once more. I feel like the Porsche, the other Mikel even I should say, we've got so many Mikels early on this season. Yeah, I feel like we've just got to try and hang with these guys. Maybe he does seem to be a little bit vulnerable now. Of course, jumped me at the start of this race and we've never really been back ahead of him. Yeah, he's not feeling confident at the moment. There is definitely a sense of opportunity for myself. Just got to keep hitting our marks. Of course, it's so easy when you're right behind someone just to then try some different things. You know, try and get a run out of a corner, gamble it on the way in. And like I said, on Road America, it really is a track where I don't feel most of the time it's worth it because, of course, of all the corners. One corner I am really struggling around is Carousel still. I don't know what it is. I cannot get the line out of here. You can just see that time. Tried to push on the throttle a bit earlier. Carry the speed. Just push the nose out so you have to blend out of it slightly. But yeah, still, of course, the kink, despite all the dirty air being kicked up by the BMW, still very, very easily flat out. It is amazing how much grip sort of modern GT3 cars have got nowadays. But yeah, they are very good works of engineering. As all BMW again gets loose and lively. I reckon if we can get a good run out the final corner, this could be our opportunity as the wiper blades kick in. Where's my rain, iRacing? That's what I want to know. Can we get a good run out of the final turn? I think we have. And he's definitely not going to be in much of a slipstream from the cars in front. So as we pull up the hill, might be able to have a look up the inside then as we get back down towards someone there. Weirdly, he's not going defensive on me. See if he gives up on it down in towards the first corner on the inside. He's just back out. He turns in on me. And that's going to give us a 4x. Oh, and he's hit the Porsche behind. It's all kicking off then, so luckily we didn't feel much from that. So that is, again, catastrophic understeer through the next corner. Porsche's made the move work as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably not happy with everything that's going on at the moment, but we've got to wait and see whether we're losing anything because of that damage. I'd be surprised if we are. I mean, I didn't even feel any contact on my end. Whoa. And the brakes have gone where, sorry? A little bit deep there, down at the bottom of the hill, but luckily we spotted it and was able to act around it. But
we've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
10 minutes left of fuel, so that is going to take us here to about
is now 1.8 seconds.
2/3 distance, as you would expect. I did wonder, of course, Road America being such an old throttle circuit, whether we would get through a bit more fuel, but I think iRacing does adjust it for circuits. You know, sometimes you are allowed a tiny bit more, but like I said, I feel like we have got the pace over the Mikel behind us, so we'll see if we can try and pull away from him and hopefully stay a bit closer to Maxim in front. We've got Mikel Hansen a few seconds up the road now. He's really been given a lifeline with all this battling. 4 seconds now clear, but let's keep pushing on towards the pit stops and hope we can get back in the slipstream of Mikel in front. Sorry, Maxim in front even. Just crossing over the halfway stage then of this race. Feel like when we're actually able to settle down and we've got a car to chase, we are pretty quick then. It's new personal best for the day. There we go, setting a 203.7 at 103. That would be mighty impressive around this venue, but yeah, I feel like we have still got good pace in the car. We've had a couple of instant points though over the last couple of laps, up to 7x. Of course, we really want to keep it below 10 in these VRS races, but one more 4x from someone else turning in on me could make the difference, as we're going to keep trying to chase times, and the gap is coming down to both cars in front. Don't want to believe a podium is on, but a podium could be on. Oh, Merc just running a bit wide, as we've got pretty much perfectly 2 laps of fuel. I actually put the car in fuel map 12, the lowest it would go on the formation, because I did think it might be tight between how far we could try and extend it, but yeah, we're going to box then with about 15 minutes left on the clock. No, it's going to be less than that, isn't it? Of course, it's going to be 13 minutes left on the clock, so we can probably afford to skim another gallon out of the tank. It doesn't sound like much, but of course it can really make the difference in these races, especially when you are hard battling with another car, as we are definitely now all over the gearbox of this Merc again. I keep saying all over the gearbox. I'm so used to commentating over F1 cars. Obviously, a lot of the terminology probably isn't quite accurate for GT3s, but let's just keep the nose in. Can we get some bite from the front end? Thank you very much. Luckily, the BMW does tend to be quite fair on its tyres, so I feel like that's where this thing can come into its own later on in the race. But yeah, the Merc's still just hanging on in front of me, but now we're starting to get a bit more of a draft off him, which will certainly help. So yeah, when we get back onto the front straight, I'm going to try and take a gallon out of the fuel there. As well, you can just see it's a bit all over the road at the moment. It's quite weird, this circuit. You just kind of start making a few small errors. It really does knock your confidence, as clearly I want to avoid the curbing through that third last or penultimate corner. So are we now going to be in the wheel tracks? No, the Merc's going to dive into the pit lane then, so now we've got to try and focus on doing the overcut. have got, like I said, only just one more lap of fuel.
Keep
so
it up.
bring it
We're
down
looking
to
good here.
7 gallons.
Very little fuel left.
To see us
Coming to the pits at
comfortably
the end of this
just
lap.
to the end.
This lap.
But yeah, it is going to be quite tight on fuel. Pretty much we're using a gallon a lap. So yeah, I mean, that should see us out to the checkered flag. I mean, we're not going to get a 20th lap in this. There's just no way it's going to be possible. And even the fastest guy's still only setting 203s. But yeah, let's focus them and see if we can try and commit to this overcut on the McLaren. Of course, no one's probably going to change tyres, anything like that. But for the first time today, we are in the podium places.
2 litres left. We're running on fumes, mate. Hit this lap, in this lap.
Crew chief just reminded me that we need to box at the end of this one. I've got no idea how aggressive you can be into Road America's pit lane, but we have got the Porsche still right on the gearbox as well. This lap's been fairly tidy.
They're faster than us into turn 6. Yellow flag.
There are still incidents. We've got yellow flags out, so we'll kick it off.
Leader is pitting now.
Leader's in. Someone else has gone round. Oh, it's a lap car, not going to worry about that all too much as we head into the pits.
1 litre remaining. Hanson in front is pitting.
Oh, we weren't brave enough. We were not brave enough into that pit lane there. Porsche, it's all over my gearbox once more, so we'll try and do shortest run up the pit lane. Just try and be cheeky with that a couple of times as well, but of course we will have the inside when we head back out of the pit. It's going to be very, very close on fuel. We have got... The tank is pretty much completely dry. It might even splutter when we get into our box. There we go. Make sure we don't stop too early. There we go. Perfect. Only just hung on in there as we went into the pit lane. But yeah, make sure we get a nice clean exit as well. We are cutting it fine on fuel, but so you got to win races. There we go. There goes the Porsche that was in front of me.
It takes it, it's clear.
So we have been mighty brave then when it comes to fuel. Where is the Merc going to be? We have got the jump on him. So we are cutting it fine on the fuel, but we've only got 12 minutes left to go. It should be enough. It might be very, very tight up to the line, but yeah, we should just about have enough. Of course, as tyres now cold from the pit stop, but we have jumped our way up to 4th place here. And Mikel now just in front of me as well. We can certainly try to give him a run for his money. Now we're back in the wheel tracks, but we have still got that Merc behind me, and I'm sure he'll want to try and reclaim the place. But he might be a bit surprised he lost. I mean, we are all over the back of Mikel Hansen here as we head down the back straight. So see what we can do out through these final couple of turns, but of course we also know we are probably a little bit lighter through to the flag as well, of course. Just wait and see. It's a little bit out of shape there through the final corner. That Porsche. Oh, that Porsche just carries speed out of the turn so well against these front engine cars. You know we're closer, you know we'll be thinking about a move when you can hear that flat 6 screams. Yeah, back up to P4 then of this race.
Make sure we can take them.
There definitely will be chances there as Renato up in P2. Certainly dropped back a lot closer than I've seen him pretty much all day long, as that is horrible. Through the first corner, hesitated where the 4th gear was the way, and panicked a bit too late. There's 10 minutes to go. 6 more laps. We've got enough fuel. But we have got enough fuel. Well, 5 laps to go then, and I don't know what's gone on to Renato here, because he's dropping back in towards this gaggle a bit more. I mean, the Porsche's broken away from me, and even I'm taking time out of him over this last lap, so whether he just kind of broke free early on and then has really struggled for pace since then, I don't know. So that is again a horrible line down at what again I believe is actually turn 3. Now we've got the Merc all over me once more. Is he going to be able to try and line up a move? Just park the car a bit more defensively as we head down the back straight, and he is going to have a look towards the outside.
Car right. Hold your line.
Whoa!
Clear right.
Felt like we kind of met in the middle there, but I was definitely trying to sort of force him out a bit wider. Apologies there to Maxim. Didn't mean for any contact.
Hansen ahead is increasing.
Both just trying to be brave on the brakes. Because we are definitely taking time out of Renato still. Lots of time out of Renato. What on earth is happening? It's all kicking off late on in the day. Because maybe if we get a battle between those two, I mean, I'd love to try and walk away with a podium here. I'd be very, very happy with that. just got to be careful still. Yeah, Renato, I wonder if he's underfueled himself accidentally or something crazy like that. Very surprised if he has, but
in behind is now 1.1 seconds.
We've got to just try and keep that Merc at bay, as these last couple of laps haven't been perfect for us. Let's just keep our head down and see what goes on in the final stages here at Road America. Oh, there we go. It looks like Renato has lost the place to Mikel, so yeah, really no idea what is happening to that BMW at the moment. I can't imagine he had a moment or anything like that, as they're still side by side as we head down the back straight. Very, very strange times here at Road America, as he's not trying to give up on the place just yet. I think he has now. But could we then be on for a podium here? Of course, we lost so many places, or a handful of places early on in this race, but then have slowly just clawed our way back in, as he's not confident in that BMW at the moment. We've got just over 5 minutes to go of this race. 2, maybe 3 more laps after this one. Oh, that's a lot of understeer. That's not going to do me any favours.
5 minutes remaining.
I wonder if Daniel at the front,
stay on it,
because he's got such a comfortable gap, whether he'll just slow down and not force himself to do an extra lap. But we've got enough fuel either way. But yeah, let's wait and see. As Renato, maybe he just wants the slipstream, of course, so he's then can save some fuel.
Now 1.2 seconds.
He's struggling still a lot. The gap between us now just 1.2 seconds, and yeah, maybe he does just need to save a tiny bit of fuel to the flag. And that's what he's doing behind, you know, sort of under the rear wing of that Porsche. But we sense opportunities here. I smell blood in the water. And I really do think that's what Renato's doing then, is we've either got 1, maybe 2 more laps to go of this race. He's now just sat behind that Porsche, so whether he's going to try and make a move happen in towards these final couple of laps, you never really know. Because we haven't had the white flag out yet, but of course, if Daniel decides to slow down, it might still unleash there, as now I think he's trying to go for it once more. So we've just got to sit patiently here. Is that new personal best for the day? Yeah, not quite. Yeah, I think it is actually. There we go. 103.7.
Lap times are pretty consistent.
203.7 even, I should say again. Yeah, we definitely still sense an opportunity here late on in the day. Just got to be at the right place at the right time there, as the Merc has fallen off a little bit
The track
late
temperature is
on.
rising. It's now 26 Celsius.
It's getting warmer and warmer as well. So, I mean, 72 iRacing would push us teeteringly close back to 2K there. If we gained 1 more spot, we would almost be guaranteed 2K iRacing once again.
We're running on fumes, mate.
Bit tiny, dip a wheel in the gravel there, but just trying to explore the limits of this Road America circuit, and always a pleasure to come back to this venue. Of course, once you make it through lap 1, it's often the scary bit around here. It was all a slight blend of throttle, so we were a little bit too shallow on the way in, but just wait and see. So we're really trying now to hit our marks a bit more. What we really want is Renato to go for something. If those two start battling again, which he might be able to get a run out of the carousel there. He was very, very wide. Whether that did him any favours or not is a very different question, but all of us are just getting faster and faster as the track gets warmer and warmer to the end of this first race in the VRS. Is he going to be able to get close enough now as they head down through Canada Corner? Again, not quite there, but the Porsche runs wide. And we have just got to keep focus there, side by side, back up through in towards the final couple of turns of what I'm pretty certain is the penultimate lap of this race, and the BMW
in front is
has pulled off the move. So, oh, no, thank you. So there we go. Daniel is going to start 1 more lap then of this race, and this could be a 4-car battle to the checkered flag there. Max in behind, I'm sure, is now just pushing on a little bit more. Surely Mikel does not want to lose the place with just 1 lap to go here. As we head back down towards turn 1, we are cutting it so fine on the fuel, but if there's an opportunity, we've got to absolutely try and take it with both hands here. Brilliant way to start the new season, as all BMW, just see there, kicks out the back end as he tries to put the power down. We get a horrible run off the corner, but is the Porsche going to be close enough? We've seen just how strong that Porsche is off those apexes out onto the long straights, and BMW going very, very defensive there. A lot of moving down the straight. Not a particularly big fan of that one, but Porsche is going to try and look up the inside in towards the braking zone, and the BMW is still going to be right there alongside him. Surely the Porsche is going to be able to slot back in to the position. They're still side by side, and I'm just trying to wait for an opportunity here to see what we can do. Whether we just let them squabble and try and get 2 for the price of 1 would probably be quite a miracle on this final lap of this race. But yeah, what a crescendo this has turned into at the end. 40 minutes of racing here at Road America. We got Porsche, we got BMWs, we even got the Mercedes just hanging on in the background. And are we going to see any sort of run happen down in towards Canada corner on this final lap there? BMW gets a fantastic run off of the carousel there. Through the kink we go for the final time. BMW a little bit out of position, but the Porsche gets a big wobble as well. We are probably the one with a run here as we head down in towards the final few turns, but I'm just going to sit back for now. Porsche goes defensive. BMW late on the brakes. And are we going to be able to find anything there? I just have to sit back for now. I'm going to try and line myself up for a good run out of the final turn here. Can we snatch away a podium in the final corners of this race there? We're going to try and go slow in, but really get on the throttle nice and early there. And is the Porsche going to do me any favours? We're up the inside of the BMW. Oh, there is a tiny bit of contact there. Bump and run towards the line. Fair play to Renato. And that is 3 cars covered by what? About a 1/10 of a second when we get to the line there. 3/10 between us all. That was brilliant fun towards the end of the race there. I absolutely do not care that I missed out on a podium right at the checkered flag. And yeah, I mean, GG's to Renato and Mikel there. That one got spicy towards the flag, but yeah, very, very good fun nonetheless. And love good racing like that when it comes down to the wire. Let's have a look at the final results then and see what happened. Well, there we are then, having a look at the final race results. GG's to Daniel, of course, again, absolutely dominated that race. Led from start to the finish there. But Mikel in P2 there, just 2/10 ahead of Renato there. And we were just another 10th back behind our fellow BMW. Did get really, really spicy towards the end of that one. I mean, yeah, that was 4 cars covered by a second. We weren't even aware of Maxim right at the end there, right behind us. But 0.15 SR gained is pretty good going. And when you consider he did have 8 instant points there, no idea how Renato kept it at 0 there. 8 instant points for Mikel, and even Daniel had a couple there, and GG's to Maxim as well for keeping it on the 0x. 73 I rating though takes us to 1,992, so we are getting very, very close to 2k once more. Any other notable results there? I guess unfortunate for Arthur, who picked up 22 instant points there. Alberto as well with 18. And any big movers? I mean, we can't have been the number 16 car in that. I guess we were, so we'll take that, I suppose. Big movers, though. Andy, 18th to 8th there. Very, very good result by him. Jonathan, 19th to 12th as well. So shout-outs to them. And we were the highest UK in Ireland. I mean, there weren't many of us, but we were the highest UK in Ireland in this lobby. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do make sure you leave a like and get yourselves subscribed. And we'll be back very, very soon with more iRacing content.